So today we will discuss unit number 1 starting FSM. Okay. So good afternoon one and all. In the previous lecture I have discussed about what are the different types of machines we will study in this subject. What are the preliminaries that has to be learned by a student in order to study theory of computation. Yes. So starting with the initial topic, what is automation? Okay. So in unit number 1, totally we have 3 topics. First one is the automata. Second one is the DFA and NFA and type of DFA NFA with output. And the last one is the regular expression. So these 3 topics have to be discussed in unit number 1, which we have already discussed. Okay. So moving forward, but before that, in order to study this automation, there are some prerequisite. What are those prerequisite is you should know what is set, what is function, what is set, what is properties of set, what is union operation, what is concatenation operation, what is joining, what is combining two strings, string operations, what is a graph, what is a tree. These are the concepts which we should know prior to learning theory of computation. Okay. So So these are the contents of unit 1 which we will discuss in the lectures, in the 6 lectures which we will discuss for unit number 1 for theory of computation. Okay. So first topic is finite automata and finite state machine. Okay. So what is automata? We have previously discussed that automata is nothing but it is a type of system in which a user is giving an input and receiving the output. After giving the input, the processing is being done by the machine, and this processing is done without actual involvement of human. Okay. So this entire processing is done by the machine itself. The only task of the user is to give an input and get the output. Okay. So this type of system which works by only receiving the input, processing the data, and producing an output, this type of system is an automation system. Okay, so what does the definition says? An automation is defined as a system where energy, materials, and information are transformed, transmitted, and used for performing some functions or operations without actual direct participations of human. Means here human task is only to give an input and collect the output. Entire all processing will be done by the machine itself. Such types of machine which follows this principle is an automated system or an automated machine. Do you remember we have considered one example for this is an ATM machine where user enters his PIN as input and the amount which he wants to retrieve from the ATM, and the machine processes all those functionalities input which is being given by the user, and it displays or it retrieves the corresponding amount which the user has demanded from the machine. Okay. So this type of system is an automated system. Okay. So some of the examples are automated parking machines, automatic photo printing machines. Just we have to give an input and the machine will start its functionalities of processing and it will return the output to the user. Okay. Here, whenever we are talking about automation, it means that we are talking about discrete automation. Okay. We are talking about discrete automation. Here you can see this model in a simple understanding way as that I1 is an input, n number of inputs can be given to the system. Automation, which we have studied over here, which is nothing but an automation is a system An automation is a system whose energy, materials, and information are transformed. This is the actual processing of the machine will be done over here. And here we can receive n number of output from the system. So this type of model is called as a discrete automation model. Okay. Here, in order to understand simply, is user is giving only input, system is performing its calculation internally without any involvement of human and producing the output for the human. Okay. What is this characteristics of this automation system is, what are the various parameters or characteristics which have to be considered is, first one is definitely the input, because this input is one of the very first step and essential step which is to be considered. At each discrete instance of time, T1 to 10 Tn number of inputs, which we have given as I1, I2, IP. Here you can see that I1 and I1, I2 up to IP number of inputs are being given. Okay. And these are the fixed values. See, if you give an infinite input, the system will not react properly as the way we want it. Okay. But if you give a proper input to the system, which is recognized by the system, then the system will definitely produce a proper output for us. So while giving an input, it is the user has to be very, very careful that whatever the input he is giving is appropriate input. If any type of mistake or any type of error is done during giving an input to the machine will not react as per user expectations. So user have to be very, very careful. So first characteristics is the input characteristics. Again, the output, which is the considered as the requirement, means the user is giving an input to get an output from the system after processing. If you enter a value of 5,000 in an ATM machine, definitely you want 5,000 cash. Okay. But instead of giving 5,000 input, if you write 5K in a machine, automated machine, ATM machine, it will never give you an 5,000 amount. Okay. So whatever the input we are giving to the system, our objective is to retrieve the proper output from the system, after processing. Output is received only after proper processing. So if p number of outputs are giving, we can get corresponding 1 to q number of output. During this processing, there is one concept that is called as state. At any point of time, with respect to state, the input and the states are one of the important parameters while generating a proper output. At time t1, the system will be at state 1, S1. At time t1, state 1, S1 will be processed. At time t2, state S2 will be processed. At time tp, state SP will be processed. Okay. So n number of states will be undergone through the machine with respect to time. So at T1, state will be S1. At T2, state will be S2. At TP, state will be SP. So these states will change as respect to time. Okay. So what is this state? We will discuss in the upcoming PPT. Then you will get a good idea what is state. What is the relation between these states? See, whenever one state has processed an input, this input is processed by a state, and the state will produce an output, and that output will be received as an input by another state. Example, when you are giving a pin as an input in an ATM machine, the user will be verified by the pin itself. When the user verification is done correctly at state 1, that the user has entered the pin correctly, then only this output is what? That the user has entered the pin correctly and it is a valid user. So this output will be given to the next state. So S1 has produced an output that the user has entered the correct pin and he is a valid user. So let him withdraw the amount, whatever he wants from his bank account. So this output will be given to as an input to state 2. Okay. So this is how the states work, and these states are having relation. Means the next state of an automation is at any instant of time is written by the present state and the present input. Okay. So here I think we have explained state relation, which is only dependent on the present state and the present input. But whenever previous states had calculated some output, those output will be transferred to the next state as an input. Okay, this is the system. Okay, of an automated system, and the output relation is an output related to either of the states or any of the input or any of the state relation. Then you can have an output relation. So what are the 5 characteristics of an output automation system? Is the first one is an input, second one is an output, third one is a state. There may be n number of states during processing of an input. These states are determined by the system itself during computation. Then we can have state relations between them. And finally, we have output relations. So a 4 marks or 8 marks question, 6 marks question can be considered. Define automation. What are the various characteristics of an automation? So you should be able to explain this automation diagram and then characteristics of an automation. So with an example, so we'll see the example in the upcoming slide. Okay. So where do we use this automation? Okay. So automation we generally use is in the finite state machine. See, we have already in the introductory lecture, I have already discussed you that we will be discussing about finite state machine, PDM, push down stack memory automated machine, and the Turing machine. So these 3 types of machine we will study in theory of computation. But this before studying Turing machine and PDM, we will first study finite state machine. So finite state machine is also called as an finite automation. Okay, finite state machine is represented abbreviated shortly as FSM. FSM means finite state machine, and this system is an automated system, so it is also called as finite automata. Okay, this is an automated system, so we called it as finite automata. Okay, so don't get confused. A finite automata is nothing but it is a system which is a finite state machine. Okay, since this machine is performing capable of performing internal calculations depending on the input given by the user, so it is an automated system, so it is called as a finite automata. Now we will see what is the block diagram or what is the structure of this FSM in memory. Okay, so here whenever suppose abhi in the just before few seconds ago I have told you that whenever a user want to withdraw some cash, this is a very best example for a better understanding that a user is withdrawing some cash from a system. Suppose the PIN number of the user is 1101. So that 1101 will be given as input here 110 and 1, and this last character will be placed over here, which is a dollar prompt symbol. This is a starting character which is denoted by C. So the system knows that the input of the user means the PIN of the user is 1101. Now, if the user enters this PIN correctly, then only he will be allowed to enter into the system. What will happen if the user enters, suppose 110 and 0. Suppose this is a user input which the user has given in order to fetch some amount. So while this C denotes the starting character, okay, so these characters are giving on a tape which is an input tape. Okay, this is an input tape. So length of the string depends on the user. Whatever the user want to store, that length is dependent on him, and this length or this string will be entered on the input tape. Okay. Now, suppose we have a 4-digit PIN. Suppose the user entered this PIN. This is a system entered PIN, which is already fed in the system, and the user at the time of withdrawing the cash has entered 1100. What will happen? So this one will be processed. It is a correct. This one and this one will be matched, and both are correct. System will move. See, at time, this is time t1, okay, and this is state s1 over here. So at time t1, user has entered user has entered 1, and which is the s1. So t1 and s1 both have been correctly entered. So what will happen? It will enter into t2 state. Now in t2 state, again the input given is 1. So here again 1 is being matched. This is your state s2. Are you getting? So at s1, 1 was matched when the time was t1. At the time t2, s1 was again matched, state 2. Again at the third time, 0 is entered. So this is at t3, time 3, 0. Again this state is called as s3 state. Okay. And at the next time, when the user is entering a value, but the system fed value is 1, but the user is entering 0 at time t4, what will happen? Again, one state will be generated, and that state will be an S4 state, but here the string has not matched. See, here 1 was matching, so we were moving to T2 state. If T1 and here at T1, if state 1 doesn't match with this input, what will happen? Will we calculate T2 and T3? No, because the user has entered T1 itself wrong, so it will come out of the system, which is again a state final, that the system will halt because the user have given an inappropriate input. So system will halt at a point. But at the condition which we are giving here, 1, 1, 0, these three values will be processed correctly, and fourth value is incorrect. So system will, as after S4, system will come to halt. Means it will not process your money. Whatever the operation you want to perform, it will not perform that. But what will happen if you again enter 1 year is, then this 1 will match and it will accept. Means whatever the value you have given is correct, and it will accept, and it will display your cash, whatever you cash you wanted. So if you entered a proper input, the system will accept all the details which you have entered and will give you cash. But if you entered any inappropriate input, the system will halt. Okay. So this is the concept of this model. Remember one thing, note very, very carefully. When a system is reading an input symbol at time t1, it remember only t1. It doesn't have memory. Once the computation of t1 is computed and the machine moves forward, it forgets t1. It doesn't remember t1. When the machine is executing t2, it remembers only input of t2. It forgets everything else. When the machine is executing t3, then it remembers only t3. It forgets what is t2, what is t1. It doesn't remember anything, because here in this diagram, you have seen that there is no such concept which is called as memory over here. Can you see that any memory has been written over here? No. So this system doesn't have any type of memory. So that is one of the very big drawback of finite automation. That's why we have designed more powerful machines other than FSM. Okay. This doesn't mean that this system is a total waste system. No. We are using this system in a multiple ways, multiple inputs, multiple. Suppose if you go to a library and you want to get a book fetched from the library, the user will have to enter his library card number or library number properly in order to get the proper student recognized. So this system works over there where a string needs to be matched, where a pattern needs to be matched. Okay. Where the computation is done, where large number of strings pattern input have to be matched. That time this system, this finite automation systems works fine. Okay. In this you can see C is a start character, S as an stop character or an end character. Okay. And here you can see this is an input, this is a, sorry, this is a starting state, this is an end state, and you can enter a string of an finite length. Sorry, it should string should be of finite length, and this read head will move as per as the input is given. Okay, here you can see it is only written as read head, means the system is only reading, it is not writing, nor it is saving anything, nor it is having not no memory. It is only capable of performing read operation. Okay, and which is a finite control because the input is finite, the system is also finite. So that is why it is called as a finite state machine. Okay, so here everything is finite. That is why it is finite automation. Okay, moving forward, we will see what are the different things which you have to consider over here is input tape. Second one is the reading head. Third one is the finite control. So input tape is this one where we will enter all the values of the system. Okay. The reading head, this is the head which is capable of performing your read task or read operation. Okay. And the third one is the finite control. This is the mechanism. So these are the three important characteristics of this finite state machine. First one is the input tape, second one is the reading head, and third one is the finite control mechanism. Okay, so these three parameters are the features of finite state machine which we have to consider. Okay, also remember one thing, that the string which is entered in the input tape will be processed from left to right in this direction only, in one direction only. Okay, so the string which is an input string will be processed from left to right. Okay, how now this is a theoretical concept which we have just studied, but how to actually implement this, what is the way of implementation? So it has to be implemented on a system by using this 5 tuple. 5 tuple is represented as capital letter M, where M is nothing but a machine. And which type of machine we are talking about here is an, definitely we are talking about of an FSM machine. Okay. The machine which we are talking here is as an FSM machine. Okay. See, it is written finite automata, so it is an FSM machine. So here capital letter M is an finite state automata FSM machine, FA machine. See, why I am telling you this in detail, we will study three type of machines. So every machine will be represented by capital letter M only. But there are differences in the way of representation of this machine. See, FA is represented by a 5 tuple machinery structure. Okay, it is represented by a 5 tuple machine. PDA will be represented by some another tuple. Turing machine will have some other machine structure. So here capital letter M is definitely an FSM machine or FA finite automation. So it is having 5 parameters and input. First one is capital letter Q, which is nothing but is the finite total number of states in the system. We will see an example which will help you in better understanding what is this Q and how these 5 parameters or tuples are being considered while representing an finite state machine. This summation symbol is nothing but it is a set of input that has been fed to the finite automata. Okay. In the previous example which we have just discussed, what is the input symbols which we were providing is 0 and 1. Means there were only two symbols, binary symbols, 0 and 1. 0 and 1 we were considering. If a user want to enter a pin as 1, 2, 3, 4, then the number system will be a decimal number system, including 0 to 9, numbers between 0 to 9. Okay. Q naught is the starting state. Here in the previous, the initial value which was inputted on the input tape was 1. So that 1 was represented by state 1, which is Q naught, the starting state. This is delta, the transition functions that determine the next state giving the current state of the finite automata and the current input. I will explain you better with an example. You just remember that Q is the total number of states in the system, summation is the input, Q naught is the starting state, delta is the transition function, and F is the final state. These are the total 5 tuples that have to be considered for an finite automata. Okay. Next one is, what is a transition? What is a state and what is a transition? See, suppose if I have two states, means one is a Q naught state and another one is a Q1 state. This Q naught state is getting an input as 0, producing an output as 0. Means when the input is 0, the system will visit again Q naught state and it will get an output as 0. When the input is given as 1, the state will be transmitted from Q naught to Q1 and the output will be 0. Means when the system is at Q naught state and it is giving 0 as input, it will receive 0 as output and the state will not change. The system will be at Q naught only. This is state 1. Okay. And this is state 2. So when the system will change from state 1 to state 2, only if it receives an input of 1. Means if you apply an input of 1 at state Q naught, it will produce you an output as 0 and it will change the state from S1 to S2. This is transition function. Means whenever an input is applied to a state, the state may get changed. May get changed. May means it is not compulsory that it will change. It may get changed. So here you can see when 0 is given as input, it is not changing the state. It is currently going on to the same state. But when a 1 is being given as input, it is changing the state to Q1 and the output is returned as 0. Okay. Similarly, for Q1 also, if 1 is given as input, it is producing 1 as output and the state is not changed. But when a 0 is given as input, producing 0 as output, the state gets changed from Q1 to Q naught. If you visualize this diagram clearly, what you are differencing is that there are two ways of representation of Q naught and Q1. See, here you can see an arrow with a single circle and Q1 state is having two circles. What does this mean? It has a technical meaning that Q naught is a start state, which is also called as initial state, and it will be represented by this only. And Q1 is a final state, which will always be represented by two circles. So here, what is capital letter Q here? Q is the total number of states present in the system. How many number of states are present here? Only 2, Q naught, Q1. So value of Q is 2. What is that? Q naught and Q1. What is the input? So next parameter was summation. Summation means input C. Summation is set of input symbols. So what are the input symbols? 0 and 1. So only 2 input symbols. Third one, what was that? Q naught is the starting state. So here, which is the starting state? Here Q naught is the starting state. Fourth, transition function. So I have explained you that when 0 is given as input, it will produce 0 as output and it will come to the current state. This is the transition. Okay. And when 1 will be given as input, it will produce 0 as output and it will change the state from Q naught to Q1. At time T1, it was at Q naught. At time T2, it is at Q2. Means this is a change in transition. This is called as transition. And the last one was F, which is the set of final state, also called as the acceptor state, and that is nothing but your Q1. How to recognize Q1 is a final state? Q1 is represented by two circles. So that is representing that Q1 is the final state. Okay. Hello. Any doubt till here? Yes, on chat, please. Any doubt till here? Are you understanding? Okay. Shall I continue? Mrunmay Patil, what is your doubt? Yes. Unmute
No,
yourself.
sir. No, no doubt.
Okay, 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 okay. Continue. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
So we have understood what is finite automata, what is the representation of finite automata, how this finite automata will be represented in a machine with 5 parameters, and how this system will work whenever an input or whenever a system is being given over here. So we have studied this. So transition, what is transition is that whenever a state is receiving an input, the state will may change to a next state or a same state. When an input is applied to a state, the state may get changed. This is transition. Okay. Example, in the morning at 10 o'clock, you were at home. At 10:15, you were in market. So at time T1, which is 10 o'clock, you were at a position which is Q naught. At time 10:15, which is T2, you were in market, which is Q2. Okay. So this is change in state with respect to time. This is transition in simple understanding. Okay. Suppose here a question is being given, determine the initial and final state. What is the initial state over here? Yes, anyone can unmute and speak. What is the initial state? What is the starting state over here? So from this we can see Q naught is having this symbol and Q1 is also having this symbol. So Q naught and Q1 both are our initial state. Final state. Yes, anyone would like to say which is final state? Definitely Q3 is our final state. How to represent? How do we recognize that Q3 is our final state? By double circle. This is a final state. Okay. And initial is Q naught and Q1, since it is being represented by an arrow to a state. Okay. Second one, acceptability of 101011. Remember that the system always starts from start state. So here the start state is either Q naught or either it is Q1. So consider when we are giving input as 1. Okay. So see, whenever you are giving an input as 1, so what is the 1 probability starts at Q naught. So here you can see Q naught is giving as input as 1 and producing output as 0. So initial states are Q naught and Q1. Here it is clearly mentioned. And there is only one final state, which is Q3. Okay. Now, in order to process this 101011, initially we will move to Q naught. So Q naught, when we apply 1, it will again come to Q naught itself. Okay. Again, we will give an input as 0. So when we apply Q naught, when we apply 1 to Q naught, it again comes to Q naught. See, second Q naught. But when we apply 0, it goes to what? Q1. Okay. And it will produce me with an output as 1. And when next string at, now I am at Q1, I will apply 1 over here. But here you can see that these values are not given into the system. These values are not given in system. So these type of values are infinite values. Here it doesn't make any sense to the system where it should go. Okay, so this is one example of an non-deterministic finite automata where the inputs or all inputs are not being given to the system prior itself. So when we process a value giving as output as 0, here you can see that only this is the state which we will process and which is giving as input as 0 and processing 0 as output. So from Q0, we will move to the next path state, and that is the Q2 state. And when we apply this value of 1011 to this state, 1011, and here from Q2, it will process 1011 and it will move to Q3. So what is the total number of states during this transition is starting at Q0, it will again come to Q0, then it will move to Q2, and then it will move to Q3. This is an example of transition. Okay, so total number of states which have been visited here is 4. Q0 twice, one time Q2, and next last one is the Q3. Okay, so this is a simple example of transition, how the machine is transiting from one state to another state upon receiving an input, producing an output. Okay, so this is the second example. This is what the first example about transition system. We have seen another example. Again, we will see some simple examples in the upcoming lecture. There are some properties which are to be considered for this transition functions, and these properties can be asked for any theoretical questions of 4 marks to you with an example. So whenever an example is asked, you can mention any of the 2 examples which we have discussed. Okay. See, when a transition, this is what transition function, which is delta, whenever a state is defined as Q. See, Q is any state which is a finite, which is represented in a finite domain, and which is given an infinite input, which is an epsilon. So Q is finite automata, but the state, this means that the state of the system can be changed only on an input system when a proper input symbol is received. Okay, and if suppose epsilon is received or null is received, then it will not change. It will continue to be on the same state. So here you can see, if we give a AW as input, it will recognize one string, one character at a time from a string. We have discussed at the time in the beginning that 4 characters were given as input to a ATM machine 1101. We were considering one character at a time. So here an input is given as AW. So we will consider first A, left to right direction. So first one is A. So when we calculate Q to A, then the system may reside at Q, or it can move to a new state Q1. Whatever is the system given as WA, then it will move from first step is W, and then it will move to a next input symbol, which is A. This property gives that the state after automation consumes or reads the first symbol of a string, and the state after automation consumes a prefix of the string, given string WA. Better to understand this is that remember 2 words. First one, system always travels one input character at a time, starting from left to right. This is the meaning of second property. Property 1 explains you that whenever a system, whenever a state is given a proper input, it may change its states, or it may reside at the current state, but the input symbol has to be proper. Whenever we are trying to whenever we are trying to give an infinite symbol or infinite input, or epsilon as an input, which is not recognized by the system will not make a transition. So these are the two properties of transitions which you should definitely know. So up till now, we have seen what is the basic of finite state machine. Now we will see where we are using these machines. Since in the beginning itself, I have told you that these machines are not having any memory. This doesn't mean that this system is not having any memory, so we will not use this system anywhere. It is wrong. It is mostly used in games which are artificial intelligence based. Parsing text means matching text, input handling, whether correct input is given or not, network protocols. See, whenever we are talking about network protocols, we know that encryption and decryption is done, and the keys are being broken down into series of zeros and ones. So here we can apply this machine to check whether the series is correct or not. 1101, like that number of series, which encrypted series is provided. So you can match all those types of protocols by using a finite automated machine. They are restricted in computational power. The reason is that they don't have memory. So that is why they are restricted. But they can perform computation on the symbol which is currently in process. Means they have good quality of comparatively and simple strings to recognize. They can process string, but only the string which are on the input tape and currently being under execution. Okay, if the input tape values are finished execution, and if the input had moved to the next symbol, it forgets the previous symbol, because there is no mechanism of saving those symbols on anywhere, because there is no memory associated with this finite state machines. They are frequently used by software developers as well as system designer for summarizing the performance of a difficult system. Wherever there is a requirement for pattern matching or any type of matching, there at that time, these type of systems are very effective, because they are processing linear fashion. They are processing the system in a linear fashion, which implement that none of the values will be skipped. Each value will be processed simultaneously, one after the another. So this is one of the very big application and advantage of using finite state machines. These are also applicable in vending machine, video game, traffic lights, controller, and many more. Recognition of speech, whether the speech is properly as per the specification is given, language processing system, etc. These are some applications where we use finite state machines in real life. Okay. Advantages: machines are flexible. It is easy to move from a significant abstract to a code execution. Low processing is required, and easy determination of a reachability of a state. Means once we are giving an input to a state, we can easily determine what will be our next state depending on the input. So it is some of the advantages. Drawback: the main drawback here is it is not having any memory. This is one of the very big drawbacks of finite state machine. The expected number of characteristics on a machine cannot be needed in some areas like computer games. So these functionalities may be applicable in some domain. Some domain may skip those specification. So that depends on the type of application where we are using this machine. So it may be an advantage for the system, it may be a drawback for the system. The implementation of U system is very tough. because it is very difficult to implement large or big number of system or big system using this type of architecture, because larger system require more processing require more data, and whenever the processing and data is needed simultaneously, then that time we definitely require memory. Without memory, data and system processing will never be done. So any use system cannot be implemented. That is a drawback of this. But advantages include wherever you want to take a string pattern match in a linear fashion, it will work 100%. Okay. And whenever we are constructing a large domain, large system, it will not work as far as our requirement is not satisfied regarding FA. And that requirement is of memory. Okay. The order for the state conversions are inflexible. See, whenever an inappropriate input is determined in the system doesn't know where to go. So it will stuck at that point, no operation will be performed. So sometimes it is inflexible. Okay. So this is all about what are the application, what are the advantages, and what are the drawback of finite state automation. This is the best example in which all of your doubts will be clear. Consider this example. Okay. In this, see what is the value of Q. We have seen total 5 tuples. So what is the Q? Total number of states in the system. What is total number of states? First Q0, Q1, Q2, and Q3. Okay. So what is the total number of states in the system? 1, Q0, 2, Q2, sorry, 1, Q0, 2, Q1, 3, Q2, 4, Q3, and 5, Q4. So total 5 states are there. Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So value of capital letter Q is 5, and those 5 values are Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. What is the input? Summation is nothing but the input. What is the input? Here you can see input is A, B, and C. So 3 types of input are being given. A, B, and C. What is the initial state? See here Q0 is only having this arrow associated with itself. That is why this indicates that Q0 is an initial state. What are the final state? All states which are having 2 circles. So first one is the Q2 and second one is the Q4. See, whenever you are writing, you have to write from the state starting from left to right. Okay, so Q2 will be encountered first, so you have to write Q2 and then Q4. See, delta is the transition function. We will check how this transition works now. See, initial string is Q0. We know that. So whenever we are at initial state, when we are applying A as input, see, this is the transition, this is the state Q0 and A is the input. So when an input A is applied on a state, at time T1, it state, this is, 1 minute. See, this is T1, this is our S1, this is our input, and this is our state. Okay, see, at time T1, when an input is A is applied to state, that time it is at state 1. But when this input is applied over here, it will change its state from Q0 to Q1, means it will perform one transition. मतलब 10 बजे मैं घर पे था, 10:15 बजे मैं मार्केट में हूँ. With at time T1 I was at home, time T2 I am now in market. Okay, so whenever you are applying an input A to current state, a transition is being performed, and now you are currently at Q1. Now I have already told you that FA is not capable of understanding whatever it has executed previously. So currently I am at Q1, so I forget everything about Q0. Now I will consider only starting from Q1 to Q4, whatever is the direction, upcoming elements. So currently now I am at Q1. So when I apply a state, when I apply an input of B to a state Q1, I perform one transition and move to state Q2. This is the second transition. Now, again, if I apply an input of C to Q1, see, when I apply B, I will move to Q2. So I will, once I come here, I will forget everything. But another possibility of checking the input, if this is B, if I apply suppose C, then I will come to Q4. So if I apply Q1, suppose if I apply an input of C on Q1, I will come to Q4. See, remember one thing, you can apply only one input on one state at a time. You cannot apply multiple input on the same state at the same time. This is FSA. This is concept of FSM. एक समय पे एक ही इनपुट एक स्टेट पे अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, एक से ज्यादा इनपुट नहीं दे सकते मशीन को. अगर वैसा दोगे भी, इट विल कंसिडर AW, जो सेकेंड प्रॉपर्टी हमने देखी थी AW. So it will again consider executing from left to right. It will first execute A and then so on. So here if we give an input as B to Q1, it will transit to Q2. Means one transition is again performed. If you give an input as C to Q1, it will come to Q4. If you give an input as C to Q2, it will come to Q3. And if you give an input as B to Q3, it will come at Q4. See, whenever the system halt at Q4, means it is our final state which is required by the system. This type of system where the system halts at the final state, this can be accepted. Okay, so this is an example of the finite automata in which we are capable of defining capital letter M, which is a tuple of 5 elements, are 5 tuples. First one, capital letter Q, is the total number of states present in the system, summation, the input which are present on the system, which are given on the system. Third one, initial state, which you can recognize from the given finite automata. Final states, which again you can recognize from the given diagram, and the transitions, which is performed by applying an input to a state at a time t1. Whenever an input is applied to a state, the state may get changed. May get changed. Underline this word, may get changed. It is not definitely that it will change. It may get changed. Okay. Okay, so this is another example. See, when you are giving multiple inputs as A, B, C to the system, see, this is the input. Starting state, again here it is, total number, Q is again, total number of elements is, total number of states is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Capital letter Q is 5. What is summation? Summation, again you can see A, B, and C. Summation is 3, ABC. Transition, here you have been given a string ABC. On the basis of this input, we will apply this input on the states and we will get a transition function. Q0 is a starting state, which is definitely Q0, and F is the final state, which is a Q4. So if you consider the, and if you apply this input, suppose the input is ABC. So starting with Q1, so here we are starting with Q0, pe, whenever the first input symbol which is applied is A, here you are applying A, it will come to Q1. Now we are currently at Q1. So whenever at state Q0, if you are applying A, you can see here you are at state Q1. You can see here the state is Q1, the state has changed. Remaining input is BC. So next input which we will apply on Q1 is B. So when applying B on Q1, we will come to Q2. So here you can see the state has changed and it is Q2. And when we apply C on Q2, the state is again changed and it will come to Q3. But here it is, I am writing as not accepted. Why? Because my final state is only at acceptable at Q4. Since Q3 is not my final state, that is why I am writing is at not accepted. Now, what will happen here is the system will reject your application. What we are considering means whenever the input as ABC is given to a system, that input will be processed by the system, but it will not produce any output. So it is not accepted system because it is not terminating at our final state. Okay. So if we try to check the same system with another example, suppose that example is AC. The starting state is again Q. So we'll apply input A at state Q0. We will come to state Q1. Here you can see when A is applied to Q0, next state is Q1. And when C is applied to Q1, we are going to Q4. So since Q4 is our final state, the system is said to be accepted system. So it will accept and it will halt here successfully. Okay. So this is how a string or a pattern matching or a string acceptance is being considered by a finite automation. Okay. There are two properties to understand this string processing very effectively. First one is input should be definitely recognizable by the state as well as the system. If you give a null string as an input, this null string or a null input or an infinite input or an incorrect input is not recognized by the state as well as the system, no transition will be performed. Okay. And second thing and the most important thing is that transitions are performed character by character, input by input, by considering only one input symbol at a time, moving from left to right direction. These are the two very important properties which you should know before studying finite automation. If you don't know this, you cannot know what is finite automation. If you don't know what is finite automation, you will never understand what is PDA. If you don't know what is FSM, what is PDA, 100% you will never understand what is Turing machine. So this is one of the basic machine which is definitely understood, which should be understood by you in order to learn the further two types of machine. Okay. So again, there are some examples which are the string acceptance by FSM. Okay, till here, are you having any doubt? Yes, anyone on chat?